too much light for you?
No.
It's okay.
Okay, well, my name is Richard Miller, and I am representing the Rotary Club Los Chillos Milenio. It's club number 56316, District 4400. I have been a Rotarian for 13 years with this club, 3 years before that with another club. Actually, I was the founding president of Los Chillos Milenio Club when it was formed 13 years ago. Since that time, my activity has been twofold in two areas where my language facility helps, and that is in youth exchange and in Rotary Foundation committees. So I've been chair of both for a number of years. The one that I really like is the youth exchange, I must say. We now sponsor 6 Ecuadorian children to go abroad to North America and to Europe, and of course we accept 6 kids from other countries. Insofar as the Rotary Foundation is concerned and that activity, we have done now 26 internationally financed projects in our 13 years. About 20 of them are matching grants. 2 of them, I guess, were district grants funded from one from Canada and one from the United States. We are currently doing 3 global grants, and we have a 4th application about to be approved in Evanston. Our club has 22 people, which is not a lot, but they are very enthusiastic and committed Rotarians. I mean, they are Rotarians at heart. They aren't Rotarians who come to the weekly meetings to socialize only or to establish business contacts. They are Rotarians because their heart is Rotarian. And of course, with that kind of people, you can always ask for their help, and generally speaking, you get it.
That's great.
We have done at least 2 that I can think of water projects. Obviously, the one that we're talking about now is of a new dimension, financially speaking. And this is a product primarily of the change in the Rotary Foundation grant mechanism, going from matching grants to global grants, which involved tripling of the size, economic size of the grants. And we're finding that the larger amount of money means a much larger amount of work, not only to execute the projects themselves, but also to satisfy the needs of the Rotary Foundation. It's not the way it used to be with relatively modest sums of money and matching grants. That was fairly simple. The global grants are more complicated and considerably more work. But that's what we're here to do. I'm retired, so I can say very happily that I'm a full-time Rotarian.
That's great. That's very good. And if I understood well, you are originally Mexican and you grew up in the United States?
Well, I've never. I was born in Mexico of American parents.
Okay.
And I went to high school and college in the United States, and I did my 2 years of military service in the United States, and then returned to Mexico. Got married to a person of similar background.
Okay.
Also, my wife Lonnie is American, born and raised in Mexico. And we lived in Mexico City, which just grew and grew and grew to the point that the smog and the traffic and it was no longer a pleasant place to live. And so the company that I was working for transferred us to their parent in Basel, Switzerland.
Oh,
And that's where I picked up a little bit of Francais.
Jose.
But after 14 years in Switzerland, I was approaching retirement age, and I realized that we weren't going to integrate in Switzerland. It's a perfect country in many, many, many ways, but it's not so perfect as welcoming international people. And so I asked to be posted to South America, and I was sent to Ecuador. We loved it here. I did my last tour of duty here, then retired, and so my wife and I decided just to stay here.
That's great. And what
That was
field
23
did you,
years ago
And you worked in which field?
in a pharmaceutical company.
Pharmaceutical.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. 23 years ago. So you must love it here. No wonder why. I mean, asking the question is really giving you the answer at the same time. That's great.
That's right.
Well, and
Dans Rotary, c'est mentionné.
yeah, he did. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I think we're due to just
I think we
finish.
just
Yeah, we
closed
finish
the...
with. They helped us closing our discussion. Thank you very much for your generosity and talking to us, sharing all your beautiful experience.
Well-
We're looking forward to look at the project and with the water project particularly, and see what we can do.
As I progress on the identifying partners, international partners,
Yeah.
I will get in touch with you all.
Okay. As soon as your international partner is identified,
Well, it's going to have to be more than one.
yeah, obviously, but I don't know. You have more experience than we do. If you find one who's going to be the main partner, I think they are the ones who do look at. But you have 5 different projects. Obviously, you might give one to 5 different international partners. Could be. I don't know.
I can't do
know.
5 at the same time.
No, I know, but you have 5 projects. But I believe the first one is a water project that you have in mind to finish the first, right? That's
Yeah.
what I thought. Yeah. Okay.
It really depends on
What's coming?
the willingness to support us financially.
Sure.
I mean,
And the paperwork as well, I believe.
no, well, I do all the paperwork.
Yeah? You do your own grants? Yeah? Wow. That's good. Yeah, you have quite a big experience.
I've done a few.
So that's why you're saying that global grants are really much more work than just the previous grants or matching grants. Yeah, that's good. Well, thank you. And you had some questions for us a little while ago when you came to see us?
Well, I guess when in the process do we establish contact? Obviously, we have already established some contact.
Absolutely.
And as our funding becomes available, I would imagine that I would write you and say, remember?
Yeah, remember me?
The project is moving well, and we still need 2,000, 3,000, or something like that. Is this the appropriate approach, or?
It is. I mean, the approach could be in different ways. Okay, we have some clubs approaching us because they are very much interested in starting a project, but they don't have sufficient funds. Maybe they need 5,000 to start the project, and they would have only 2,000. So they would, for a big project, I mean 30-something project. So they would ask us if they can help them, kick off the project. And we could contribute. Maybe we would give them a promise that if they can gather the balance of the money, definitely they can count on us for a certain amount. So it depends on the project, and it depends on the request. Other would approach us because they just need very little to finish the project. They have like what's happening in our own club. They have a $155,000 project. So far, they have collected $120,000, but they still need $30,000. So obviously, one club cannot do it. So they are asking lots of clubs to give them some helping hands, and so that could be done too. So it's either to start up a project, complete a project, or give some promise of financing a project, which we do. We can give you a promise, and then once you collect all the money, then we just send you provide the global grant number, and then we just go through the foundation to send the money.
Okay,
You can find a club.
We do, yeah. That's the other aspect that we can do. If you're looking for an international club, we try in our area, in our district, or even other districts. In the United States, for instance, we do approach. We visit United States 3 months a year during the winter, and we visit lots of clubs.
it's a good time to be out of Montreal.
Right. So what we do, we visit clubs and we ask them whether they're interested in water projects. And sometimes they would say, we don't have the resources to do it, but we have the money. There we go. We connect them with you, for instance. Or, yeah, we have the resources, but we don't know how to do the grants. So there you go. We connect them with another club who mentioned they know how to do the grants, and we do match the clubs together as well. How many clubs in the United States we match together? They don't even know each other. It took French Canadians to put them together. Can you believe it? So we do that. I mean, whatever we can see that there is a possibility of putting people together, we do that just as well. It's just not financially, because sometimes experience is much more than just money.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what we do. And I hope this does answer your question. You have any other questions?
No, I don't. Thank you.
So you have the coordinates, you have the email address. So
I thank you for your translation of coup de cœur.
heartbeat. Thank you too.
I couldn't explain to my wife what it meant.
Yeah. And how would you say it? You
But
you
it's-
speak lots of languages, so you might be able to help us, since you do speak French as well.
Petit peu seulement.
Mais oui, mais très bien, bel accent. Mais coup de cœur has no specific translation in English, because they say heartbeat. No, it's not a heartbeat.
No.
It's not heartbeat at all. Exactly, yeah. It's heart struck. No, it's not a heart stroke. I mean, it's even less than a heart stroke. It's not heart stroke.
Well, the Spanish translation is exact.
Okay, it's really French.
Golpe de corazón it means exactly the same.
Oh, I have to put it down to remember that. How do you spell it? The Cora, because we're going to Nicaragua. I'm sure they're going to ask us.
Golpe,
P-E, golpe.
separate word.
Yeah.
De,
De. Yeah.
corazón, C-O-R-A-Z-O-N,
Yeah. Corazon is the heart,
without the E.
without any. All right.
An accent on the O.
C-O-R-A, accent on the O. The second one.
Corazon.
What kind of accent? Grave, aigu, ou chapeau? Grave.
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 No,
No,
sorry.
that's grave. There you go.